Hi, welcome back. My name is Cole,
And I'm Andrew.
and this is CTRL-AC.
CTRL-AC is the podcast where we talk about the high price of lordship. Last week, we talked about Elon Musk buying Twitter. Since last week, Twitter's been a mess. Every day, there's something new with Elon and Twitter, so we're going to talk about that. We also have Radeon RX 7000 series.
That
so
should
we'll
be interesting.
touch on that. Prime Music gets an update. Still horrible, but
Still
it gets
terrible.
an update. So starting with Elon and Twitter. So if you've been on Twitter or on anywhere, you probably know by now. Twitter is redoing their whole verification system.
Mhm.
So on Twitter now, basically, if you're a public figure of any kind, you have a verified check mark. If you're a news organization, if you're any sort of publication or public figure, you have a check mark by your name so that people know that you're the actual,
not some Telegram scammer.
Yeah, the actual New York Times or the actual Tim Cook.
And not like a fan page or something.
Right. So what Elon is basically doing is he is getting rid of that verification system in favor of a paid verification system. So Elon is roping in a verified check mark with Twitter Blue. So we talked about Twitter Blue a long time ago. That's like Twitter Premium.
Yeah.
That lets you edit tweets and all that. So let me go ahead and read Elon's tweet thread. So he said, Twitter's current lords and peasants system for who has or doesn't have a blue check mark is BS. Power to the people, blue for $8 a month. Price adjusted by country, blah, blah, blah. You will also get priority in replies, mentions, and search, which is essential to defeat spam/scam. Ability to post long video and audio, half as many ads, paywall bypass for publishers. There will be a secondary tag below the name for someone who's a public figure. So this means that anyone who pays for Twitter Blue gets a check mark.
That's actually kind of a big deal.
So now Twitter is just filled with a bunch of random people with check marks. Now the check marks don't mean anything.
Yeah.
Like the whole, if everyone's a billionaire, then no one's a billionaire thing. If everyone has a check mark, then no one actually has a check mark. Now there's no significance to it. A lot of public figures are saying this is not a good idea because now we can be easily impersonated. Someone can just make an account that says Tim Cook, pay $8 a month, and then they're verified.
Yeah, and then they could cause slight damages.
Right, and you wouldn't be able to tell they're the fake Tim Cook unless you clicked on their profile.
Yeah.
Elon, this is actually happening. Elon said Twitter Blue will be $7.99 a month officially. There are screenshots of how this will work, but the screenshot is just a notification from someone's mention page on Twitter that just said, your account has been upgraded. You are now verified. So it's I don't like this.
Yeah, me neither. Because imagine some bot that wants to somebody who wants to cause damage just changes their name to Tim Cook or something like you said.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And then they go and reply a tweet and they have a verification check mark. And then somebody sees that, screenshots it, and posts it everywhere. Without proper context, this is gonna seem bad.
Yeah.
They're gonna have to really push that celebrity tag whenever they reply to a tweet or something or post something.
Yeah, because if they don't, I mean,
this is how people get scammed a lot, because people impersonating famous or wealthy people.
That's the other thing too. You could just start posting tweets from verified random accounts that aren't the actual account then.
Yeah.
And
it's
trick people
hey, free stock, join my Telegram.
Right. I don't know.
This is either going to be really bad or really good. There's no really in between. But I feel like it's not going to be the first one.
His whole point is if you aren't verified on Twitter, then you don't have a voice. Because like my whole timeline's a bunch of verified people.
Yeah. Creators
and then
stuff.
Yeah. And then I obviously don't have a huge following on Twitter because I'm not a big public figure. You can't really grow on Twitter. You kind of just join Twitter as an already established name, and then you get a bunch of followers.
Mm-hmm.
But for actual public figures now, they'll have 90 days to get Twitter Blue, and then they'll lose their verified checkmark. We don't know how this is going to work for whole organizations. So like imagine the New York Times. The New York Times has hundreds of journalists working for them.
Yeah.
So are they going to have to pay $8 a month for every employee they have? Are they going to make the employee pay for that? Is Twitter just going to cover them because they're a publication? This all hasn't been announced yet.
Yeah.
So, but this is kind of a nightmare. This kind of went really viral. AOC tweeted, LMAO at the billionaire earnestly trying to sell people on the idea that free speech is actually an $8 a month subscription plan. And then Elon commented back, your feedback is appreciated. Now pay $8. And that kind of got 1 million likes.
That's hilarious.
So this is hilarious too. Elon the past few days has just been posting the most random things. Like he said being attacked by both right and left simultaneously is a good sign. But like he's tweeted some like actually coherent things. And then he just posted a meme of like it's a guy smiling at an $8 Starbucks drink and then a guy crying in an $8 check mark. So like a bunch of random stuff like that, but a lot of memes. He's made fun of AOC again. He posted a screenshot of a shirt of a sweatshirt that AOC sells from her merch line that's $58 with just a contemplation emoji. So he and AOC are fighting again. He tweeted like, why is small talk even legal? A neuron does not realize it's a neuron. Like a bunch of random stuff. And then he posted a poll that said advertisers should support free speech or political correctness. So it's either a bunch of memes, a little bit of like coherent thoughts, and then a bunch of like right-leaning political tweets. But I don't know. People are mad at him because he's not exactly acting like a traditional CEO.
But he's never acted like a traditional CEO. He's always been that one that posts memes and random stuff on his Twitter.
Yeah, he's not a traditional anyone.
Yeah.
But he changed his bio to Twitter complaint hotline operator. He changed his profile picture to a picture of him as a child, like with a phone.
That's funny.
So like, this is really interesting.
It's funny that he like understands it too. He just like doesn't really care.
Yeah. Midterm elections are here, so we'll see how Elon and Twitter handle like misinformation, election stuff.
Yeah, that's gonna be
always
really
big with social media. Facebook has been accused of being one-sided in terms of how they promote certain political campaigns. Instagram's being accused of that. Google's being accused of that. We'll see how Twitter handles this. Elon said it should be free speech, so it should be perfectly balanced. So we'll see. So Cole, you want to get verified on Twitter?
Okay, hear me out. Okay, hear me out. If getting verified means growth, which I mean technically it would, because if your priority, so like if you go like at Linus Media Group, hey, you should check out our podcast, maybe we can do a collab. Like there's like, and it gets like 3,000 upvotes or something, or not upvotes, geez, Reddit. And it gets like 3,000 likes or replies or something. Then like, it could like produce growth for not only our Twitter but for our podcast as well. So honestly, I feel like if we made it like our Control Media account verified, I wouldn't be too mad.
Then again, if everyone's verified,
but like right at the beginning, not everybody's gonna be verified.
Yeah.
And nobody really pays for Twitter.
I mean, it'll be interesting to see what the like politician verification is too.
Yeah, like
'Cause,
Joe
like-
Biden not.
Like Joe Biden is not going to be paying for Twitter Blue. So is he on the list of people who just get
Gets it.
verification by default?
Like he'd have to be. I mean, he's the president.
Yeah, so does he just get verification and everyone else has to pay for it? It's so strange. I'm not a fan of this. The whole point of verification is just to protect people who can be easily imitated. And all this new strategy does is just open up the floor to people being able to imitate
Yeah, like
public figures.
Like this is kind of on topic, but almost all of my accounts got hacked, and I'm pretty sure it was because I clicked a very like realistic email or something. I don't even remember what it was. It was probably something stupid, but
So now imagine you DM a senior citizen from an account called Amazon with a verified checkmark, and you just say, "We need to confirm your credit card number for your Amazon account," and it's from verified Amazon.
Yeah, they'll be like, "Oh, yeah, it's the real one." They'll be like, "Wait, how did all my stuff get hacked? Where's all this money going?"
Can someone make an account called Twitter and verify that? Like,
I'm gonna assume that there are gonna be certain like key names that are gonna be blacklisted for other uses.
I guess
like stuff like Joe Biden is probably gonna be blacklisted. Elon Musk is probably gonna be blacklisted. Twitter, just a bunch of stuff like that. You know, like they're gonna have to. That's one of the only ways they're gonna be able to combat it.
Yeah, and then after all of this, then Elon started firing half of Twitter's workforce.
Yeah.
So he has fired 7,500 employees. So
which is a lot.
That's a lot. That's half of Twitter's staff. So all of these people who work for Twitter just started tweeting out, "I am leaving Twitter after 3 years. My time is over." Michelle Austin said, "Woke up to news that my time working at Twitter has ended. I'm heartbroken. I'm in denial." And then she started this whole thread of like leaving Twitter, blah, blah, blah. Twitter sent out a email to their employees that says, "Thank you for your patience through this transition and for your commitment to the important work you do at Twitter. We're sending this email to confirm that your employment is not impacted by today's reduction." So this is to people who aren't fired. Throughout the last week, Elon has spent time with a number of employees, customers, partners, policymakers, and Twitter users. He's looking forward to communicating with everyone about his vision for the company soon. "We know that you likely have a number of questions, and we will have more information to share next week. In the meantime, please note that until Monday, Birdhouse is temporarily offline. Our office buildings are temporarily closed, and all badge access is temporarily suspended. Offices will reopen Monday. Thank you for continuing to demonstrate respect for the impacted colleagues, etc. We look forward to working with you on Twitter's exciting future."
That's interesting.
So Elon apparently sent emails to people just saying, "Go home and don't come back on Monday." Like just telling them your job's gone. You're fired. So this led to a ton of Twitter employees filing lawsuits against Elon Musk. So we'll see how that turns out. And then today, Twitter is being sued in a class action lawsuit for just firing half the company without a 60-day notice.
Yay. More lawsuits.
So lawsuits against Twitter, lawsuits against Elon. There's a WARN Act in California. It's an acronym for something. I guess that's a law that says there has to be a 60-day notice in advance of a mass firing.
Is Twitter located in California?
Yes.
Okay.
Wait, let's see. Twitter HQ. Yeah, San Francisco.
Because Silicon Valley is in California, isn't it?
Yeah. So we'll see how this goes. Financial Post says that Elon's motivation was to just cut costs. Because he also said that Twitter is being dropped by a ton of advertisers. Oh. So all of these likely left-leaning companies are looking at Elon's stance on everything and just saying, "Nah, we're done. We don't want to put ads on Twitter anymore." So It'll be interesting to see who stays on Twitter now and who leaves. Because all these people who want to boycott Elon Musk, if you do that, then you kind of have no platform because it's Twitter or nothing. There's nowhere else to go. You're not going to True Social.
Yeah.
This is such an interesting story. We'll probably just do a weekly update. The Verge has a newsletter called This Week in Elon, or just sends you a newsletter every week with the news on Elon this week.
That's kind of funny, actually.
The poor writer doing that. So we'll do this every week, but
because there's just going to be new drama every week on this.
Yeah, this is crazy. Let's go ahead and take a break, and then when we get back, we'll talk about new GPUs and the disaster that is Prime Music.
You know what's kind of interesting about those GPUs? They're high-end cards, so that means they're kind of hot.
They run hot?
Yeah.
Wait, could you just use that GPU to like heat your entire house?
No, but Linus Tech Tips did one where you could heat your entire pool.
See, that would be cool. Because if you could just take your GPU and like plug it in outside, then you'd have like a heat source outside.
What he did was basically he just put a radiator in, like he turned his pool into a radiator for his entire like home system, like his server.
Okay, but I don't want to use my GPU to like heat my outdoor space and my pool. That's kind of inefficient.
But I mean, if it's free while you're gaming to heat it while someone does it outside, I mean, why not?
I need a different way to heat my pool though.
Have you heard of the Complete Backyard?
No, what's that?
Basically, they're an outdoor living space company. So they'll basically build you an outdoor space and you can customize it however you want and they'll work with you every step of the way.
Wait, so like a fire pit?
Yeah.
So I don't need my GPU? How do I contact them?
To request a consultation, you can go to thecompletebackyard.com.
Thanks.
No problem.
I guess I could still use the GPU though to like heat my room. Is it that bad? The 7000 series?
I mean, since they're not technically for sale just yet, we don't really know temps, but they have insane performance.
So let's back up. This is Radeon RX 7000 series.
Not to be confused with Radeon 7000 or Radeon HD 7000 or Ryzen 7000.
Yes.
AMD, okay.
AMD is a great naming scheme.
Yeah, no, like that's one that like they're such a good company, but they need to fix their naming.
Is it worse than Sony?
Okay, I don't think it's that bad, but Sony's just doesn't make any sense.
We need to fix CPU names and TV names.
I agree. Well, you don't want your QHD 12400 DH17?
If you go into
LG OLED 5K 120 HZ
so
ZL 14-inch 59 diameter.
If you walk into Best Buy and open your Bluetooth menu on your phone, it looks like another language.
Yeah.
The amount of random devices that show up.
Yeah.
We need to just like redo tech naming schemes.
Honestly, like we just need to have like a mass, like especially the USB naming scheme.
Wait, hold on. We buy Sony. We lay off half of their workforce.
Get the class action lawsuit.
Yes.
But we could grow because of Twitter verification, so we get more money.
We just make we make a Twitter account called Sony. We verify it, and we tweet that we're redoing the naming scheme. It would pick up traction. Sony would see it, realize they have to like respond to us, and then they'd have to do it.
So, Radeon 7000 is like actually extremely impressive.
Right off the bat, spec wise, on paper, how does it stack up to 4000 series? From NVIDIA, not past AMD 4000.
Yeah, which one? HD 4000? Okay, so the RX 7900 XT is a 24 gig card, just like the 4090.
Okay.
Right? So as you know, the RTX 4090 costs a leg and a kidney to buy. It's $1,600. So like it's not a cheap card. But AMD has always been extremely competitive with their card pricing. Right now you can get a brand new 6900 XT for under $1,000.
Yeah, that's good. What's the MSRP of the highest end 7000?
It hasn't technically been released price wise, but it's probably gonna run around $1,000.
Which is a steal.
Which is a good deal for like a 4080 Ti tier card. How
does RDNA 3 look?
It's really good, Andrew. Like RDNA 2 is RDNA 2 is a really big leap in GPU performance. Like some of the APUs they came out with last year have like GTX 1050 Ti performance, which is kind of cool. So RDNA 3, like essentially, it's less of a raw performance and more efficiency, like performance per watt.
Mm-hmm.
So your card is not going to pull 500 watts like the 4090 does, playing GTA 5 at under 100 FPS because of stuttering.
Okay, so speaking of that, really quickly, Cole sent me a reel on Instagram where this guy just like took his 4090 and like plugged it into a wall?
Yeah, Mr. That's okay. Honestly, like where we're going, why is that not feasible?
Oh, standard wall outlets have 2 ports. One for your computer, one for your GPU. It's how it was designed.
Yeah.
So then your card could pull what, like 2,000 watts of power?
I think, hold on, let me look up the rated. Okay, so maximum load should be like around like 1,500 watts per outlet. So like 3,000 watts per wall.
Okay, 3,000 per wall.
Like per little socket.
So 1,000 for
it's 1,500 per like plug.
Oh, so 1,500 for computer, 1,500 for GPU.
Yeah, but then you'd be
I don't see a problem.
Yeah, but then for 1 hour is 1,500, 1.5 kilowatt for an hour of gaming if it's at max load.
Okay.
That's like $8 an hour for just your GPU.
It's cheaper than GeForce Now.
No, it's not.
Is it not?
No. GeForce Now is like $15 a month, and you can have.
Oh, it's 8
time.
an hour.
It's 8 an hour.
No. Okay,
it's like
Cole,
insert coins here.
How often? So if you play for an hour a day, so that's just 8 times
30.
No, let's see. Would you play for 350 days a year?
I would play every day a year.
365
for an hour a day.
So after the initial cost of computer, you're only paying $2,900 a year.
Oh, is that all? And that's only if you're playing 1 hour a day.
And that's
like most people I know play 2.
So 2 hours a day, $16 a day, 16 times 30. Okay, so you're looking at $480 a month.
Or you could just pay for GeForce Now. So like, okay, listen. Don't do this. Don't honestly. If you're waiting to buy a new GPU, go RDNA 3. 4000 series hasn't even been fully released yet. So like AMD is really stepping it up. They have supposedly better encoding for streaming, which is kind of the only thing they were lacking with their RDNA 2. So yeah, what I'm thinking I'm doing, honestly, I found a 6950 XT on Craigslist for $680.
Okay.
Like last year's top end card from AMD. Well, technically this year, wasn't it? That they released the 50. Yeah. This like 2022 they released the 50 sub tier of their 6000 series. So like a high end card from this year for $680 is not bad.
No, that would be good.
Yeah, like phenomenal.
So should you buy 7,000 over 4,000?
Honestly, you like in my genuine opinion, I think you should. Like the raw performance like per dollar is just so much better.
So Amazon Music, their full song library is now available to everyone with a Prime membership.
That's cool.
So before, if you were a Prime member, you could get the app, you could sign in, but you could only listen to the not popular songs. What? Basically, any song on like the top 100, you had to pay for. So now you can listen to any song on Amazon Music only on shuffle. To pick a song, like an individual song, you have to get Amazon Music Unlimited. I
really hate that with music streaming companies.
Yeah, they redesigned the app. It's still so bad.
It's never been good. And it has the same shuffle. Like if you shuffle a playlist, it just shuffles it. Like it has a set shuffle. So like it just picks the songs in a random order and sets that for life until you add another song.
It's not good. The app is so bad.
Is it? I don't have it.
I mean, it's just there are so many bad things about it. I genuinely don't know why you'd get this. If you're out there and if you're listening and you don't, I don't know how to say this. If you don't have Spotify and you're paying for another music streaming service, switch to Spotify and it will change your life.
Yeah.
Like there are some, like, I know people who have like Apple Music, YouTube Music, Amazon Music, which isn't bad. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying Spotify is objectively better. And if you switch to it, you will see what we mean and you will like it. It's the same amount of money.
And it's it's not expensive.
It's the same amount of money.
Yeah.
But it is so good.
And it has a bunch of cool features like Wrapped.
Like
so.
Wrapped. I can't wait for Wrapped this
Dude,
year.
I'm literally gonna be in the top 0.1% of Juice WRLD listeners. Like I'm convinced.
Probably. I think the Spotify Wrapped thing is over too because it stops collecting data on Halloween.
Aw.
Which is weird because like a lot of, I don't know why they do that. Like they stopped collecting your listening data.
Like they should stop collecting it December 31st and give it to you January 1st.
Yeah, it's December 1st right now is when they do it.
Because my account got hacked, so I don't have it
Mm-hmm.
at the moment. We're working on it, but I don't have it at the moment, so mine is gonna be odd.
You know what's weird though? On November 1st, I got a notification from Spotify, and it was like, listen to Jack Harlow, and maybe he'll be in your Spotify Wrapped. Like I don't listen to Jack Harlow.
He's a terrible artist, like objectively, like
But
he's terrible.
It just said like, listen to him, maybe he'll be in your top Wrapped, which is weird because it's November 1st. So I don't know if they've changed that this year.
Maybe that'd be nice because I really want to get my account.
Honestly, if it takes into account the music you listen to in December, I think my Wrapped would be like at least 20% Christmas music.
That's probably why they stop it.
It's probably just all Christmas music.
So basically, guys, if you pay for Prime, just don't use Prime Music anyways. Like, it's not good. It's terrible. Like, Spotify free is better than Prime.
No,
Music.
that's very fair.
Like, literally, YouTube app is better than Prime Music.
Yeah.
Like, it's just all around a terrible experience, and neither of us recommend it, so. But, you know what else you should stop using? Or I guess not spend money on? The MetaQuest Pro. Basically...
we talked about this. It's the future of VR. And the future of VR is not bright.
And it is not cheap. Linus got the MetaQuest Pro.
Was it from D-Brand?
Probably. They're very fun with the D-Brand. And basically he tried the display. It's 1920 by 1200p per eye, I believe. So like it's right in between 1080p and 1440p,
which is not ideal.
Which is not ideal because like Apple's gonna have like a 5K display for each eye.
It's 8K, so it's 4K for each eye,
which is kind of it's a lot.
Yeah, and mini LED.
For $1,500, if you're only getting 50 or 500 local dimming zones? Do you remember? Did you watch
on the MetaQuest Pro? No,
yeah.
I didn't watch it.
Okay, it's either 50 or 500 local dimming zones. I don't remember, but like that's not that good.
No, it's not.
Especially for a display like for that price, you're gonna want more than like that.
So to all the people who are about to buy, what is it, $1,600 VR headset?
It's $1,599, I think.
I do want to try it though.
It'd be fun. That'd be like a fun like go to like a Dave & Buster's or something and try.
Yeah. Know? So we'll be tracking the progress of VR. We'll be tracking the progress of Elon and Twitter. A lot of stories today that have very meaningful
impacts on
the world as we know it. Until the next Elon lawsuit. Thank you for listening. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, or would like to get us Twitter verification, you can tweet at both of us. I'm at UtterlyDrew.
And I am at ColeWWWeb.
And we will see you next week.
Bye, guys.